Hi, I'm Bridget, and thank you so much for joining me today for this 10-minute morning yoga to start off your day. And we're going to get started just in a comfortable seated position. So I'm just sitting with my legs crossed. I'm going to bring my palms just to rest on my knees. And I'm going to start to gently close down the eyes and bring my attention to my breath. So taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, letting it out. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. A nice big sigh. On your next exhale, let your shoulders get really heavy, so let them sink away from the ears. Sitting up nice and tall. So we've got a nice long line from the top of the head right down to the tailbone. Just checking in, noticing how you feel this morning. Noticing where the mind's at, not judging anything, just noticing, becoming aware, and then letting it go. And then on your next exhale, we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest. You can keep your eyes closed here or just gently blink them open. And start to draw some really slow circles with the nose. One way, and then back the other way. You might like to spend a little bit more time if there's some spots that feel a little bit tighter. Send a little bit more energy there. And then we'll bring the head back to center and make our way to all fours. So we find our tabletop, stacking the shoulders above the wrists, spreading the fingers really nice and wide. And then we've got the hips stacked above the knees. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll take a couple of rounds of our cat-cow, sinking with the breath. So on an inhale, let's curl the tailbone up. Drop through the belly, draw the shoulders back together. Maybe looking up, and exhale, we curl the tailbone under, round through the spine, and let the top of the head drop down towards the mat, nice and long through the arms. And then syncing up the movement with your breath. So seeing if you can move nice and slow, slow down the breath. So just setting the tone for our day here, giving ourselves the time and space to just be, showing up for yourself, your body. You might like to draw some nice big circles with the spine. So any movement that you feel like your body needs here. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way to our first downward facing dog. So walk the hands forward a little bit. We'll tuck the toes under and then lift the knees away from the mat. Send the hips towards the top back corner of the room. And we press the chest towards the tops of the thighs, nice and long through the arms. We're pressing into all 10 fingerprints, all 10 knuckles. Walk the feet out, so pedaling, bending one knee and then the other. And then we'll find stillness for a breath. On an inhale, we'll look forward between the hands, bend the knees, and then go for a nice slow walk up towards the front of the mat. Find your forward fold. Nice generous bend through the knees, hinge at the hips, rounding the upper body forward over the legs. Maybe go for a little sway from side to side. Find the breath. And then on an inhale, we'll find our halfway lift. So trace the fingers up the front of the legs, stopping halfway, flattening out through the spine. So give those knees a nice generous bend. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. We inhale. And exhale, round it forward. Tuck the chin in towards the chest, ground down through the feet, and we roll it all the way up to standing. Tuck the tailbone under, moving one vertebrae at a time. Let the head and the neck come up last. And then we find a moment in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So you might like to let the palms shine forward and maybe bring them together At the heart space, closing down the eyes or softening the gaze. We stand up nice and tall, draw energy upwards. Find the breath again here, check in with how you feel. And then softly blinking the eyes open. We're going to bring our hands to the hips just for a moment. We're going to send our weight into the right foot and then start to step the left foot back into our high lunge. So nice generous bend into that right knee. The left heel is drawing towards the back edge of our mat. See if you can level out those hips so we've got both hip bones shining forward. And then inhale, let's reach the hands up towards the sky. Nice deep breath opening through heart space. And then on an exhale, we're going to make our way to our low lunge. So you've got two options here. You can bring the hands to the floor and then lower that back knee, or you can stay in your high lunge and see if you can slowly start to bend into that left knee and bring it down to the mat. We find our low lunge. And then exhale, let's bring the hands back to the mat. Find your tabletop again, and then let's make our way to downward facing dog. So walk the hands forward, tuck the toes under, we send the hips back. Pedal out the feet. And then find a moment of stillness. On an inhale, let's look forward between the hands, bend the knees. Let's go for that nice slow walk to the front of the mat. Hinging at the hips, nice deep bend into the knees. And then on an inhale, we find that halfway lift. Trace the hands up the front of the legs to the hip creases. Nice and flat through the spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, we round it forward. Inhale, press down through the feet. We start to roll it up. And we find our Tadasana. Nice and tall. You might like to close down the eyes. Check in with how you feel. Getting the body moving. And then finding stillness. And then gently blinking open the eyes, we're going to send the weight into the left foot this time. Bring the hands to the hips. And we step it back to our high lunge. So checking in with the body here, finding our balance. Let's get those hip points shining forward. Nice generous bend into that left knee, waking up the muscles. Then let's inhale, nice deep breath. Reach the hands up towards the sky. Opening up through heart space. Now you've got that option, either bring the hands back to the mat and lower that right knee, or stay lifted, and then we slowly start to bend into that right knee. We find our low lunge. Nice deep breath here. And then exhale, let's bring the hands back to the mat. We come back to our tabletop and we find our child's pose for just a moment. Reaching the hands forward. Letting the forehead rest on the mat, maybe rocking a little side to side. Really sinking the hips back down towards the heels. And you can stay here for as long as you like, or when you're ready, we'll make our way back up to tabletop. We'll cross one heel over the other and then walk it back through seated, and then we'll come all the way back to lie down. We'll send the arms out into a nice big T shape when you get there. Hug the knees in towards the chest, and then we'll find a little twist. So drop the knees down towards the left. Taking a nice deep breath here. Then we'll come back through center. And drop the knees down to the right. Breathing along the length of the spine. And then we come back to center. And we'll send the legs out nice and long. Bring the arms to either side, palms facing up. We find our Shavasana. Taking a moment of stillness for yourself before you begin your day, or for whatever lies ahead. And I encourage you to stay here for as long as you can. But I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana. But I wish you the best for the rest of your day. Thank you very much for joining me for this practice this morning. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.